Hey, hello, everybody. I'm Al Futrell from the Department of Communication. I'm here to talk to you about faculty-led study abroad programs. First, what is that? Well, it's real simple. Faculty member decides to take a bunch of students overseas, Japan, Germany, wherever, and has a class. Students get earned a credit and also get a great educational experience, get cultural experience, and they're going to get something they'll remember the rest of their lives. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about Panama specifically, because that's the trip I take students to Panama. We've been doing it for about 20 years. But if you don't want to go to Panama or can't go or whatever, please go someplace. Go to Germany, go to Japan, go to Thailand, go to China, go to Argentina. I didn't really care where you go. You should go someplace because it will enhance your educational experience tremendously. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about Panama. So let me get out of the way here so I can show you some of the highlights of our trip to Panama, which we take, like I said, every year for the last, since about 2002. Let me start with the specifics, because this is the thing that everybody wants to know about. That is, what does it cost me? And you're going to talk about this wonderful experience. How much is it going to cost me? Good question. Let's look at it this way. You're going to take 6 credit hours. You're going to get 6 credit hours on this trip. You're going to take a course in Panamanian culture. You'll take a second course in either political science or communication. So 6 hours. Ordinarily, 6 hours at U of L in the summer, this summer, costs you $3,162. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to charge you $3,750. Oh, you say, well, that's too much. For $588, you're going to get the 6 hours, plus you're going to get 3 weeks in Panama. All you have to do is pay $588 for 3 weeks in Panama. That's a deal you're not going to find anyplace else, believe me. Okay, so let's talk about this trip. First thing is, our partner institution there is Quality Leadership University. This is a university we've been hooked up with since 1997. The president is a U of L graduate, as a matter of fact. You see, it says University of Louisville on that building. Well, it really doesn't say that anymore. It says Quality Leadership University because we tried to call it the University of Louisville, Panama, but we couldn't get away with it. Our administration said no go, so we don't do that. Now, 3/4 of a mile from that school, which is where we would have our classes, is the hotel we stay in, and that is Torres de Alba, a hotel and suites. Actually, every room is a little apartment, has a kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room, eating area. The nice thing about the kitchen, if you look at this picture at the bottom of this slide, it's got a washer and dryer in it. So you don't have to take many clothes. You can do your laundry and take a week's worth of clothes and stay 3 weeks. Those cultural experiences we're going to have. Let's talk about those for a second. Remember, you're getting 6 credit hours in 3 weeks. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do several things. Let me just talk about a couple. One of them is this one, the Imbra Village. It's an indigenous group in Panama. We're going to travel down the Chagres River in one of those dugout boats you see at the bottom on that picture. It's going to take us about half an hour to get there, maybe 45 minutes. It's quite an adventure, and it's a lot of fun to do. They will show us some of their rituals, and there you see some of our students dancing with some of the folks there, and they're going to also provide lunch for us, which they may give us some fish that's going to be served to us in a banana leaf. We're also going to go to Isla Grande, which is on the Caribbean. It's an island in the Caribbean. On our way over there, we're going to stop by Portobello, which you can see there in one of the photos. That see that cannon. Portobello was the Atlantic port, main Atlantic port for Panama for about 300 years when Spain ruled Panama. Now it's a tourist attraction, and it has a couple of forts in it. It also has a church, has a Black Christ in it. And so it's kind of an interesting place. Over down in the right-hand corner, we see our old buddy Poopy. He owns a bar and restaurant in Isla Grande, and it's called Barley's, and I believe he thinks he is Bob Marley. We're going to go to the Panama Canal, of course. Can't go to Panama without going to the canal. We'll also go to a couple of the museums, which we show you on the bottom of this slide. It's one on everybody's bucket list. So we're going to make sure we go to Panama Canal. We also are going to go to Casco Viejo, which is the old part of Panama, sometimes referred to as Casco Antigua. In fact, that's the real name for it. Everybody there calls it Casco Viejo. It has shops and it has restaurants and it has a lot of old architecture, has a lot of churches in there as well. And on the right-hand side, you're seeing there, that's the French embassy. French were there. They're ones, of course, that started building the canal, and the United States came in and finished it. We also go to the Biodiversity Museum, which is one of the most fascinating places in Panama, as far as I'm concerned. I can spend about 4 or 5 hours in that place. Most people won't spend that long. But you can see the weird architecture it has. That's a picture of it. There are all those colors. That's the building. That's the museum. Below that, you're going to see some kids on the bicycles on the causeway, which is where the Biomuseum is located. You can see water on both sides of it there in the pictures. And on that other picture is just one of the exhibits inside the museum. It has the history, the geological history, as well as the social history of Panama. Very interesting place. If you want to go to the beach, you go to Toboga Island, which is the closest beach to Panama City. It's about a 20-minute, 25-minute ferry ride. You go out to the causeway, hop on a ferry, and you're at Toboga Island, pretty much like any other island and any other beach, except because it's in Panama, it has really clear water, and you can see the woman there is snorkeling and seeing some of the colored fish. We will also go to Gamboa Rainforest, which is right near the city. There's actually a rainforest in the city. We might go to that one as well. It's Metropolitana. We see our old buddy down there, the sloth. He's got a leaf in his hand. Everybody wants to see sloths when they go to Panama. Well, we'll see sloths when we go to Gamboa for no other reason, because they have a little zoo there and they have some sloths in it. But we're not going to walk through the rainforest. We're going to ride over it. So we're not going to have to worry about snakes or anything getting us. We're going to just ride over and look down below and see them. And that boat that those kids are on there, and that one picture, what that is we're on our way to Monkey Island to see some monkeys in addition to the sloths. So it's a lot of fun when we go to Gamboa. And sometimes, no, actually every time I should say, we go west. We go out west to Panama. And this 3-week trip, we go west. We go to Boquete. Boquete is where in Panama most of the really good coffee is grown. It's in the mountains. It's got no humidity. It's a totally different environment from Panama City, totally different. It's a wonderful place. We go there for a few days. One of the things that is in Boquete is that volcano you see there, which is called Baru. If you really want to have a lot of fun, you can climb that volcano. It takes about 6 hours. And then when you get up there, you look one way, you see the Atlantic. You look the other way, you see the Pacific. Now, that actually is not exploding. That's a cloud that's right over the volcano. Okay, we also have to talk about the food here for a second, because we go to Panama, you always, wherever you go, you want to look at the food. Panamanian food is not the same as Mexican food. I'll tell you that right off the bat. People always tell me, you're going to Panama, I love Mexican food. Well, too bad, that's not the same. Here's a couple of photos of some of the dishes you would get there. Arroz de pollo, yuca, carmenola, tomate de olla. Those are some of the dishes there. And these are all coming from El Trapiche, which is the picture down there in the bottom. My favorite restaurant in Panama. I go there all the time. I make sure all the students get to go there, because you want genuine, real Panamanian food. That is by far the best place to get it in the whole city. Someday we go to service. We do service learning at an orphanage in Panama. It's Aldeas. And what we do is we play with the kids. We teach them some things, maybe. In this case, in this particular photo, we were teaching them how to do salsa dancing. No, I wasn't the one teaching them. We had a professional dancer there who was teaching them how to do this. Okay, remember, we're talking about $588 in addition to what you would pay for your tuition if you took 6 hours at U of L. That's all. If you have any questions or comments or want to know anything else, just contact me, al@louisville.edu. Thanks for listening.